Sometimes as a content creator, we can find ourselves in this cycle of burnout after burnout after burnout, and we're pushing ourselves to the brink, and our anxiety is getting bad, and we're just like mentally in the dumps. We're just not doing good. And recently, I have been really focusing on taking care of my mental health. And there's some certain things that I've been doing that have been really helping. And I've noticed a huge difference in my energy, inspiration, motivation, and just overall how I've been showing up as an artist and a person. And I kind of wanted to discuss that with you and tell you what I've been doing, my tips, my tricks, and maybe that can help somebody out there. Maybe somebody needs to hear that. But before I get into the topic of the day, I did want to discuss the artwork that I'm working on today. And so the artwork that I'm working on today is this pink peppermint reindeer girl. And the idea started when I was just scrolling online and I kept seeing all of this Christmas decor showing up, and it was like pink Christmas theme, so cute, like a pink and white candy cane pillow or like a pink gingerbread house. And I was like, that is so cute. I love that it's pink and it's not just the classic red and green. I love a classic red and green. I love Christmas decorations. I'm a super big Christmas girl, but something about the pink was just getting me. And when I would go out and I would go shopping and I would see those in the store, I'd be like, wow, that's so cute. So I kind of wanted to like do something inspired by that aesthetic in this drawing, just something fun, something cute, something pink, something Christmassy. And then I realized that I wanted to do another reindeer girl because the last reindeer girl that I did, so she was a digital drawing. I'll put her up on the screen so you can see, but she did not turn out how I wanted. She wasn't what I envisioned. Like, she's cute, but I feel like she's like flat or something's not quite hitting. It's kind of off. Maybe it's because she's a digital artwork, so the colors came out very unnatural, because I find that when I do my digital art, sometimes that can happen. I'll pick colors that don't exist in real life, and then the whole thing just kind of feels off. So we went on a bit of a journey with this piece. It started off completely different. So what happened is I first intended her to be a colored pencil drawing. And I was like, oh, I got this new paper I want to try. It's this super tan paper. And I was like, this is fun. This is new. I like to try new art supplies. Anyways, I drew her out completely on the paper. And I was like, okay, it's going good. It feels good. And then I started layering the colored pencil. And I started like doing my normal process of colored pencil, and I was going along and it was going good, and then it was going good until it wasn't. And I realized that this paper is very smooth. It just wasn't layering like it normally would. And then I also realized I'm doing her skin very dark, and it's not like holding the amount of layers that I wanted it to. It was just doing some funky stuff, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibes of it, and I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, this is kind of crazy, but I think I'm going to do a complete like 180. And I took a photo of the line work, and then I brought it into my tablet and I lightened it, and then I printed it off onto some printer paper. And then I colored all over on the back of it, and then I taped it on to a gesso board panel. That's what I'm painting on today. And then I traced all the lines, and then when I took off the paper, the line work was like lightly transferred over onto the panel, and then I could do the same exact artwork but on a different surface and in a different medium. Isn't that amazing? So that's what ended up happening. I was for real gonna give up on her like quite a few times. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this artwork anymore, but I didn't give up. I persevered. I persevered. So I hope you're proud of me for that. But anyways, then I did an acrylic underpainting, and let me tell you, I don't love this underpainting like at all. It turned out like so bad, the underpainting for her, but whatever. We did it. We blocked it in. I kind of low-key hate acrylic paint, but that's whatever. That's besides the point. But I did the underpainting just so I could like visually see the colors, even though it was super splotchy and weird looking. That's okay. It's fine. I fix it in the oil paint layers. But yeah, so I block in an underpainting, and then I mix up my oil paints and I start going in, and then I finish the artwork with the oil painting, as you will see. But anyways, that is my explanation of this artwork and what happened here. And in the end, I am pretty satisfied with how she turned out, so I hope you enjoy watching the process. Anyways, now we can get into the topic of discussion for today, which is, how have I been managing and fixing my mental health? Because I really want to help you guys, and I got some tips for y'all. So stay tuned and I'll get into that. So the first thing that has been helping me, and that always helps me whenever I'm getting down and getting into a slump, is meditation. And I'm so for real right now. I know some of you might be like, okay, serendipity, whatever your name is, meditation, how's that going to help me? Well, I find that when I am mentally in a bad place, I have a lot of noise, unnecessary noise and criticisms and anxiety going on in my brain. And so then when I can sit down and calm my brain, and I usually do actually a meditation in the morning and at night before I go to bed, and it really helps to calm my brain. And what happens is I clear out the brain fog and the noise, and what I find happens is I get in a really calm state of mind, and then as a side effect, I get like all these cool art ideas flowing in, and I'm super relaxed, and I have like a lot more energy. Because when you're stressed out and when you're all full of anxiety and spiraling, you're using a lot of your energy and you don't even know it. You're using so much, you're draining your resources. So you got to fill up your cup. But first you got to clear out all the stuff, clear out all the junk so you can even get to your cup. So then you can start to fill your cup. But that's what meditation helps with. So I do that in the morning and at night, and it seriously has been helping me so much. It's no joke. I'm constantly doing it. Whenever I'm stressed, that's immediately what I go to, and it always helps. And another thing that I have done recently that has seriously helped is detaching from the numbers of my social media. When I was not doing well mentally, I found that I would be checking my social medias constantly, checking the numbers and checking, how well is this artwork doing? How well is this post doing? And what it did for me is kind of make my art all about numbers, and it kind of drained me creatively, and it made me want to do things with my art that were just to get the numbers. And that's not the right place to be coming from. And it was this whole negative spiral. I think it really damages us creatively. And I know it's really hard to stop focusing so much on the numbers. Like when you're in that cycle, it becomes like an addiction. But slowly, if you can gradually ease off of checking those numbers so much, eventually you'll find that you'll build the momentum like away from doing that so much. It can take time, but you can do it. I can do it, we don't need to be checking our numbers so much because we're artists. We don't need that. I feel like it's not good for us. And then the third thing that I have been doing that has been really helping me is just taking space to relax, taking days off. Not every day needs to be a productive day. Not every day needs to be an art day. You don't need to think about art every day even, which I find really hard because my brain is constantly thinking about art. But sometimes I find that what I need to refuel myself creatively is I need some time off. I need to go for a walk. I need to go hang out with my family. I need to go take a bath. I just need some time. Like go out, go do some Christmas shopping. It's December, go do something nice and fun that's not art or content related, because when you take that space off for yourself, you're not always on go mode, because you can't just constantly be pouring from the cup. At some point, you got to fill the cup, is what I've learned. Another thing that I have found that has seriously helped when I am in the super negative mental health spiral is journaling. And what I use journaling for is when I have like a recurring like negative thought or feeling or something, like say I have a lot of self-doubt popping up. I have been having that recently, actually. And so what I do is I go to my journal and I go, why am I doubting myself? And then I just sit there and then I write down whatever comes up. And then I reflect on that. And a lot of the times what comes up is stuff like, oh, I'm scared, like other people will judge me if I put out this video, or I'm scared I'm not a good enough artist. And then I say, like, is this true, or what can I do about this? And this is that deep work. You got to do that work, because sometimes you'll find that when you're mentally down, you're not doing good. You got to do some reflecting. You got to do some work on yourself. You got to figure out where's that root at, find what's been bothering you. Literally just ask yourself, write it down, and your answers will come out because they're in you. And a lot of the times it's straight up lies. And just you writing it down and seeing it, you can release that. You can release it and let it go. So that is so helpful for me when I have something that just keeps coming up and I'm like, I don't understand what is going on. That is what I go back to, and it is so helpful. And then another thing that is super important here, and I know some of you are not going to want to hear this one, but it's removing the negative content that you're consuming from your life. And by this, I mean like consuming the news, like consuming a lot of drama content, consuming a lot of inflammatory content. Something that I used to watch a lot of that I've recently cut out for my own mental health is like forensic files and a lot of like true crime content, because that content is so addictive because it's so like shocking. It's a lot of shock value. But what it was doing to me is making me like super stressed out, because I was constantly watching these like horrible things that were happening, like murders and all that, and it just filling my brain with that. And then subconsciously I was just like, sponging it all up, and I was like, man, I feel like super stressed and anxious, and I feel like super paranoid, and I just was absorbing all that. It gives off that energy, that negative energy. And for real, if you can get yourself to cut out some of that negative content, really evaluate like where you're consuming that kind of content, and where you could really like detox right there, because some of that can be what's draining you. And you could notice a big difference if you start cutting down or cutting out some of that stuff, because I have noticed a huge difference. Another thing that I like to do to help with my mental health, and this isn't directly my mental health, but I've noticed that it does help, is exercise. And by exercise, I don't mean like super intense exercise, but I just do walking. I wear a Fitbit and I just get my steps in every day. And sometimes when I'm like, man, I just am like not feeling it creatively, I'm feeling kind of like in a slump, I'll just go walking. I'll walk around my house, I'll walk on my treadmill. I can't always go on a walk outside because, I got my kids with me, but if I can, I will go on a walk outside. but just going on a walk and just moving your body, it can just move some of that stagnant feeling of just being in a slump. It can just move it around out of your body, and it really helps me clear my mind. And just, it's another thing you can do to just take space from the problem. When you can take that time to give yourself some space, it can be so beneficial for you and really help get you out of that slump. Because once you're in that slump, you feel like, man, it's gonna last forever. It seriously feels like forever. But I will say, every single time that I've been in a slump, I've always gotten out, and it's never permanent. So just remember that it just feels so long, because when you're feeling dumpy, man, time just moves a lot slower, it feels like. But it's literally not moving slower. It's just an illusion of your mind, and you'll get through it, and you'll come out the other side, and you'll be reawakened and reinvigorated. So just remember that. And sometimes we need a little bit of dumpy time so that we can really appreciate when we're feeling good, because life is all about contrast. And if we didn't have the bad times, we wouldn't even know when we're having the good times. We wouldn't even know to appreciate them. So think about that. Anyways, that is my tips and what has been helping me recently. I hope that helps somebody. Anyways, this has been my TED Talk. I hope you feel invigorated, and I hope you feel encouraged. And maybe I left you with some good advice so you can creatively move forward and go make some wonderful stuff in the world. Also, if you really like this reindeer girl artwork that I made today, I have her as prints and stickers on my Patreon for December. So if you sign up on my Patreon during the month of December, you can get a print and or sticker of her sent to you in the mail. Anyways, that is all I have to say today. So I'm going to be quiet, and you can listen to some music while the art process video finishes. And I hope you enjoyed this art chat. Here is my full finished oil painting of the pink peppermint reindeer on 9x12 gesso board. You can find this original artwork for sale in my shop at serendipitytheartist.com if she has not already been adopted. And you can also find prints, stickers, keychains, and other merchandise at serendipitytheartist.com. And for now, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.